And now we have to wait a minute. I've already done that, so that's good. I just have to wait for the live things to pop, where I can see them on the actual screens. I silenced my phone, so at least I was smart enough to do that before this thing starts screaming at what you just popped up. So, see? See? For once. For once. Oh, wait. That's just have to post it one more place, and I'm done with posting. I did it all. And come on. There it is. Post. Done. All right. Let's see. One is open, so let's go ahead and see if we see it yet. We do. So that's number one. And put that number where she goes and switch to participants. Let's check number two. Door number two is apparently live. Wow. Doing well. Maybe. We'll see. I don't count on anything until, all right, let me hit this button. We should hear beep. There it is. And that means I can come over here. Ooh, why is that? Oh, yeah. Jay, thank you. I just noticed that my mic has been muted for 20 minutes. Everything I've been saying, nobody heard. And if you hadn't shown up, because I just happened to look at the meter, I probably wouldn't have noticed. Boy, am I a moron. Holy cow. Oh, yeah. I'm a streaming pro. That's me. Oh, my God. What a moron. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. It's a good thing nothing I say matters, because that would really make me feel even stupider. Oh, boy. You know what? I kind of needed that. Oh, boy. What a dope. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. What a dope I am. 20 minutes. Mic's muted. I know why, too, because the last stream that I did, I was testing out using my other mic, but because I thought it was going to work, but it's a little too low. It covers up the iPad. It's a better quality mic, so the sound quality would be a little bit better, but it would cover up the actual the iPad, so I would have a hard time drawing, which is a shame, because I would prefer to use the best quality mic I've got, but it's a podcasting mic, so it's on an arm, and the arm would go right over. Oh my God, I really cannot believe I had this thing muted all this time. Thanks, Jay. Good thing you showed up. Or this would be a mute. I mean, I'm going to have to put a disclaimer, or when I export the video, I'm going to have to put a thing over it saying, sorry. God, is it even usable if you can't hear me? I mean, I guess it is. Good grief. Oh, man. Okay. You know what? Okay. This is Jay, you're from the off the shelf Discord, right? Am I correct? That's where you're from? Because I'm in a bunch of Discords and people pop into these things all the time from different Discords, but I want to say that you're from the off the shelf one. Or am I wrong? Okay. So Jay, I'm going to let you in on something, and this is funny, but you'll appreciate this. So I'm talking to Gary and Ian about having them on my show. And boy, oh boy, do I hope that I don't have my mic on mute for the first portion of that, because I will feel like a true moron. Oh, so, but anyway, yeah, I'm going to, we're just trying to get it scheduled, but I think it's going to work out, where I'm going to have them on my show. Like I said, it's just a scheduling thing at this point, but because I was actually just talking to Gary about it today. And I'm real laid back about that stuff. So, I told him, I said, whatever, make it work. Yeah, it should be fun. Should be fun. Might be some interesting. Oh, here, since I've been muted, what I'm doing here is this is a piece of art for a card commission, a magic card commission. And I'm trying to work out what colors I want to use on it. Hence, that's why these are here. These are my marker colors. So these two banks are, they seem like a riot, man. I mean, I think there's going to be some probably spirited discussion about certain film and TV properties, which I look forward to. But yeah, they seem like really fun guys to talk to. So like I said, it's just a matter of working it out, because I know that they're going to be on a completely different part of the world. So the scheduling is going to be a little tricky, but we'll figure it out. I've done shows with people in completely different time zones, 9 hours ahead of me before, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm pretty jazzed for it. I think it'll be fun, because we seem to mostly have the same opinions on things, and I think the differences in opinion will be good-natured, and actually I enjoy talking to people who have different opinions. Why is that see-through? Who see art differently. Oh, that's why, than I do. So should be fun. Should be fun. I don't know when, because it's totally, I just told them, I said, you guys tell me. I'll work around you, because honestly, I can make almost anything work. So holy oh, wow, 319, huh? Oh yeah, because UK is 8 hours ahead. Wow. Yeah, jeez. I just did a show with somebody from the UK, a musician. Um, really, really great synth musician named Robin Ogden, whose artist name is Ogre Sound, or Ogre, he usually goes by. If you're into synthesizers and great music, can't recommend him highly enough. I actually commissioned him to do the closing music for our regular show, our full show, and the late night series, which is what Gary and Ian are going to be on, because he's that good, and he's a great person. I mean, he came on and did the show while being clearly very sick, and he could have just said, "Hey, I'm sick," and he still did it. So, anyhow, awesome guy. Ogresound. Hold on. I think it's ogresound.co.uk and then ogresound.bandcamp.com. I think, if I've got it right. But if you just search for Ogre Sound, Robin Ogden, you'll find him. He's a great guy. And man, great music in lots of different types of music too. Mostly synth-based, but like ambient music, which I really like. He's done some dungeon synth stuff, like, for dungeon masters to have in the background type stuff, and then his regular music. And he's done stuff like he did an album inspired by Blade Runner, one inspired by J.G. Ballard. So just all around extraordinarily talented individual. So I am always happy. Oh, I want to switch to the marker. Always happy to give him a free plug, because I think this is the third or fourth time he's been on, and great guy. All right, let's see how big this marker is. Yeah, see, that's... So yeah, this is kind of the traditional reds is what most people would want out of Shieldred. Now, obviously, I shouldn't say obviously. The goal would be to have shading on this. It wouldn't all be one color, but the basic, typical Shieldred color is going to be red. Actually, I'm just going to go past it. I can erase it and get into the lines. So this is what typically people are looking for. Is there's usually a red, because that's how the character is traditionally colored. In the actual older, or I shouldn't say older, but the classic Magic art, Shieldred is very red. Man, I was actually just talking to somebody today who saw one of the pieces I did. It is amazing that... See, I don't know anything about Magic. I've said this before. I don't know anything. I mean, I know what the game is. I know it's a card game. I know the basics of it. But it's really interesting, because when a quote card is good, which apparently Shieldred the card is very good. It's a powerful card, I'm told. Do you have a Discord? I do, but nobody's in it because I don't advertise it. Honestly, I spend most of my time in other people's, but if you're interested, it's, what is it called? Hold on. I guess I gotta, well, it's called the Ozone Nightmare because that's the show name, but I don't know if it's got like a special address or something. I mean, I have it there. How many members are there? 4. Actually, technically 3. Me 6, the app is in there. If you want to join it, you can. I have it there. I monitor it in case anybody ever posts in it. But it's been over a year since anybody has. Because honestly, I bounce around other people's. What is this? How do I see what... Is it just... Oh, no. It's Ozone Nightmare. There's no the in it. How do I link to it? Oh, invite the server. Oh, here we go. Copy. All right. Here, I'll just put it here. I don't care. It's that. I don't know if I'm supposed to post that like that. I don't care. But if you want to jump in there, I will. If you say something in there, I will answer it. I'm just used to being in other people's Discords because, I don't know. I love Discord, don't get me wrong, but I never really envisioned that many people would. I'm so used to people just sending emails, I guess. I'm older, so you know what I mean. But hey, join it by all means. I will talk to people in there. It's not that I have anything against the server, at least not yet, until they ruin it, which I still dread that Discord is going to end up ruining itself. I just feel like I hate that too, man. Discord is such a great tool, and unfortunately, they can't resist, can they? They just can't resist everything having to make more money than we know is necessary to sustain something, because that's what it ends up being. It's not that it's what they need to stay alive. It's that they know they can just keep milking people for money. And I really hate the fact that I'm pretty sure Discord, I'm going to guess in 5 years, is going to either be almost unusable or close to it, because all this stuff they're talking about doing, and I don't know, it just doesn't. I guess it's inevitable. It's one of the things that really bums me out, I'll be honest, because I'm old enough to... I'm 47 years old. So I'm one of the last of the generation that remembers the world when the internet was not persistent. There's a name for it. I can never remember what the name is. There's a name for people who are of my age. It's like digital nomads or crossover or something like that. Let's see. Hold on. I will go welcome you. General. Let's see. Oh, look at... oh, no. Oh, I just connected to the voice channel. No. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, it's voice channels. That's why. Oh, wave to say hi. Jesus. This is the stupidest stream I've done in a long time. All right. Anyway. You know what? I'll say this for my complete lack of being able to do much of anything, really, is I'm not making this crap up. Who would? Who would want to act this inept? Nobody. Oh yeah, so the early days when the internet was really becoming where everybody had it all the time, which when I was really young, it was still through the phone line. So you didn't really use the internet all the time because you were tying up a phone line. So what I'm talking about is the point where it was always on, broadband. You didn't disconnect it. It didn't interfere with anything, and it just always ran. You just always had an internet connection. I remember before that and after that. And there was a period after that when persistent internet started really picking up traction in a lot of places. And this was after college, really, because I remember even when I went to college, having a T1 was light speed, in terms of compared to home. So when that really started to happen, and it was the Wild West of the internet, before everything was, not your bank wasn't on the internet, not everybody had a website, all that stuff. At that point, oh yeah, of course, wasn't it? I love the dial-up tone, the AOL, You've Got Mail, dial-up tone, everybody, that's a sound that even people who weren't alive for it have culturally absorbed that's old internet. You know what I mean? Wait a minute, I just heard another beep, which was probably... Oh! Mr. Ann Pruitt has... Why can't I switch this thing off the... Whoa, I kind of hosed that window somehow. Oh, I see it. Man, getting DSL for the first time in my apartment was glorious. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It was... I remember that crossover point. And the thing about that was, at first, it was such an optimistic thing. Like, it really did feel like... No, you're not derailing me. You think you're derailing me and I wasn't going to do that to myself? Really? You've missed out on at least 2 major technical screw-ups. The first of which being, I don't think you were here for it, but luckily Jay broke me out of it. My mic was muted for the first 20 minutes of the stream, Mr. Pruitt. You're derailing me? It's impossible to derail somebody who doesn't have tracks that the train is running on. It's impossible. Anyway, at that point, it really felt like it is the... they don't use the term information superhighway anymore. That's become an outdated term. But it felt like that. It really did feel like there was this thing changing where the world suddenly did become... Smaller is a stupid... I don't like the world became smaller. The world didn't become smaller, but the connections to people who were not immediately around you expanded immensely. Just in huge ways. And of course, because we're all idealistic and dumb when we don't really think about the long-term ramifications of things, it just seemed like, wow, this is going to be transformational in only positive ways. And of course, that's not how things work, because that's not the world that we live in. it's kind of a similar thing where with all this AI stuff and these people who are like, no, it's going to transform everything better. I'm like, okay. I don't know that it's all going to be as good as you think it is. And somebody's going to have to pay for that. But yeah, that's the thing that like Discord feels like a remnant of that. Because Discord, for a lot of people, and certainly I was one of these people, I had a Discord account before the pandemic. I had one. I'd signed up for it because I was playing. There was some kind of online game, and I don't even remember what it was. But that online game did not have built-in chat. It was a game that didn't have voice chat built into it. And so a lot of people said, well, just use Discord because you can use the chat feature in there as like an overlay or something. I don't remember. It was something like that. But it was because this video game was missing the feature. And so I had it for that, but I barely used it. And then, of course, the pandemic happened. And honestly, Discord was a lifesaver. It really, I mean, everybody suffered during the pandemic mentally. I don't care if they think they did. I mean, okay, rich people didn't. But most ordinary people, non-rich people, suffered during the pandemic mentally, whether they are aware of it or not. There was mental damage done to everybody. And still is. I say that it's not over with. I mean, it's just, it's at some point there will be a real assessment of what the pandemic, beyond the health stuff, did to people. It was a global disaster in mental health terms. It really was, and is. Like I said, it's not over with. There's lots of stuff that permeates from that, whether we acknowledge it or not. I think a lot of people would prefer not to, but whether they want to acknowledge it or not, it's there. But Discord was really a lifeline for me because there were tough things happening at that point, beyond the pandemic, just stuff. And it really, I remember using TeamSpeak. Oh, yeah, TeamSpeak. Yes. I remember TeamSpeak. Sure. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I remember TeamSpeak. But that was Discord for me. Discord really became a thing that I really started to rely on during the pandemic. And honestly, Mr. Pruitt, I don't think this is a betrayal of any type of confidence, has said publicly, in fact, I know it isn't because you've said this publicly, you've said this on social channels, that you consider Patreon, your Patreon, to be your social network, as opposed to, say, Twitter or Instagram or Blue Sky or any of that stuff. And honestly, even though I use a lot of those other things, my real social media is Discord. That is where I talk to, on a daily basis, actively most people. In fact, Mr. Pruitt, you're one of the few exceptions because you're not on there. So I talk to you in Patreon. But most people, I don't use their Patreon as a way of a communication vehicle. I'm in the Discord. In fact, Jay will tell you, because that's the only reason Jay's here, is because Jay is in a Discord for, by the way, an excellent movie podcast called Off the Shelf Reviews. I will pimp anybody's anything. I don't care. I'm not looking for kickbacks. Incidentally, Jay, Mr. Pruitt does a great podcast called Everyday People. Everyday, I can't use the word, but it starts with S, ends with T, and it has 4 letters, where he talks about everyday stuff. It's on a bit of a hiatus at the moment, but there's lots of back episodes, and they're all worth hearing. So, again, I have no problem marketing everybody but myself. But that's Discord. The thing that bothers me about the direction I feel like it's going is because I find a lot of value in it. And I pay for the Nitro thing. It's not like I'm just sitting there doing it for free. Oh, wow. See? So that's same thing, right? So you understand this, Jay. I mean, most people under a certain age, meaning probably younger than my mother, have had that Discord experience in some ways. Most during the pandemic, some for video games is where they really found it. So it's interesting because that's another thing. It's like that's a kind of it's like the AOL startup sound. It's like a shared cultural thing for a lot of people, that they understand that there's that recognition of what that thing is and what it means to you. But that's what bothers me. I'd spend more time in Club Twit Discord, but I'm not techie enough for the conversations, even though I love and appreciate that audience, so I at least check in. Well, yeah. No, I'm in there a lot. you know, there's definitely certain parts of that technology sphere that I wouldn't say are beyond me, but I just don't hold my interest. Although I am starting to look at Linux more closely now because boy, oh boy, is Windows. At some point, if I ever get to talk to Paul Thurrott, we're gonna have a lot to say. But because I know he has more faith in Windows, and that's saying something for his general attitude than I do. But boy, oh boy, has Windows been pissing me off a lot lately, and I'm now really actually like, okay, you know what? I think Linux is worth a. No, Jay is a fan of off-the-shelf reviews, right, Jay? Well, actually, I shouldn't say that, Jay, because I don't know that that's not true. If you have a podcast, by all means, say what it is. I mean, really, who doesn't anymore? I was talking to somebody about that the other day. I'm like, yeah, you know, there was about a 5-minute stretch where having a podcast was a thing that actually, where people were like, really, what's that? Now it's all over with. Now it's just, the word itself almost has no meaning. So for all I know, Jay does have a podcast, and by all means, Jay, if you do, advertise it, because it doesn't offend me a bit. Let's see. Okay, so that's going to be the reds. If I'm going to do red, it's just that's the basic color, but I know a lot of people like that. Let me go back to my color picker here. You know what? Hey, that's okay. Having a podcast is it's not gonna make you rich. So you know what? You're not missing out. You're not missing out. Sorry, I completely went blank for a second there. I have no idea why. I looked at that finger and my train of thought just hit a wall. My show ain't popular at all, but it's a body of work that got me paid a few times. Well, you know what? That ain't nothing. I mean, if you can make any money off a podcast, you're doing something right. And popularity is a stupid metric anyway. Popularity doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. Popularity it's never going to be the way I measure the quote success of our podcast. Well, yes, you have the advantage of being a good-looking man who's in great shape, which is why I will never be a model of anything except for, you know, I mean, if they ever come up with a hair replacement thing that works, I would certainly pimp that because I'd be the first to use it. But that's a long shot. Yeah. Like I said, popularity is not the metric. It's not the metric. I wouldn't be any good at that. I don't think I'm interesting enough to hold an audience. Let me tell you something, Jay. You'd be surprised because I don't think I'm interesting at all. I am shocked. And I don't say this fishing for compliments, which is one of the things I actually had said in the 20 minutes where my mic was silent. So obviously I'm not doing it because I think I'm any good at it. But I don't know why anybody listens to our show. I don't. And people will say, maybe I would. I guess it's possible, Mr. Pruitt. Maybe I would bottle a mech. Bottle a mech. See, that's the problem, is I have to actually be able to talk and not fall over my words. Well, Jay, that's all we do. We just discuss movies and things I enjoy. We do get into some weird areas, let me tell you. Tomorrow's show, incidentally. Oh boy, tomorrow's show is going to be a hell of a thing. I'll give you a little preview, the two of you, since you're here. Let me tell you, tomorrow's show kind of has it all. And I appreciate that, Mr. Pruitt. I believe you, because nothing makes sense to me, so of course somebody would book me. But tomorrow's show is going to go into some weird places. And it's going to end with a lot of anger. Not anger between me and Lando at each other, but at the world. I mean, Lando set me up. And I delved deep into a lot of the fury I have at things going on. In a way I don't usually do. But, whew, yeah. But it's going to start off with us talking about, I guess, what would you call them? Semi-life-size sex dolls based on gremlins. These things exist with some weird proportional choices. And then you end up in actual real-world anger. It's just, the show is just a mess. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe how it works. Yeah, Jay, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's none of this stuff's planned. It's just what happens. It's just not. Hey, I wasn't either. I don't even know how we got in. How do we? Oh, I do know how. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Unwhited. Oh, actually, you know what? It's funny. I didn't think about this, Mr. Pruitt, but now that you say that, oh boy, yeah. Speaking of unwhited, yeah. As a bit of a preview, I guess. I have been thinking about this for a little while, and I won't go into full detail here because you really should enjoy in the full screaming throttle fury that I deliver it in. But there's been this thing about. And Jay, I know you're in the UK, so I'm sure you look at the United States and wonder when it's just going to devolve into a sinkhole of internal civil war and hatred, because that's how it feels here. But I get into this idea that a lot of the things that these people who are, how do I phrase this properly? Extraordinarily pro light-skinned folks, I don't know how else to really phrase it, that in fact the things that they think they're doing that are going to help themselves are the very things that are going to end up making less of them in the world. And I don't think they're aware of that. Oh, believe me, I know. Yeah, I know. That's and that's to circle this all back to the Discord thing. That's the thing that makes me concerned about Discord and some of the stuff that it's doing, because I find that in general, unlike many other of these channels that people talk to each other on, Discord, by and large, at least in my interactions, and maybe yours have been different, but 95% of the discussions and conversations I see on Discord are, even when there's disagreements, people get along. It does not become a hate fest. There's rare cases here and there, as there are in anything, but it's certainly not like going on to, I mean, even Blue Sky, which for a while seemed like it was a bit of a utopia, now it's become like, it's becoming like everywhere else, because, you know, people have realized there's a popularity to it, and so these scumbags will show up as they always do, and, you know, there's a predictable course that gets followed there. But Discord has largely remained separate from that, and I don't really know why, because certainly it's a popular service now, but the dirtbags just don't seem to be interested. Maybe because there isn't a dislike, you know, popularity ratio, to go back to what Mr. Pruitt was talking about. I don't know. But it's weird. Right, Jay? It's weird. It's strange that Discord has been exempt from all this, because you would think by now the lowlives would have come in and ruined it, and they just haven't. And I really don't know why. And instead, and this is the part that's makes my eyes like screw around backwards into my skull. Instead, Discord's doing it to itself. The one place that could probably actually capitalize, the one service that could, if it wanted to, if the people leading it did, could capitalize. Yes, Discord feels more genuine than most social media. I agree with you. And instead of harnessing that, the people who are running this thing, instead they're following the same tired, worn out playbook that is going to drive people to another service that realizes there's an opening instead of capitalizing on what they've got. It just, I don't get it. I don't know what these people are thinking. I mean, I guess it's just the same old thing. Money, 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 money. How can I put the most money in my pocket? Not how can I create the best version of a thing. Not how can I see that there's a value in what's working and just figure out how to monetize it by appealing to the community and saying, hey, you know, if you want this thing to stay like this, more of you are going to have to chip in, Mr. Pruitt, like Twit does with the Club Twit thing, which I think, you know, I know it's not necessarily where they want it to be, but I think it's working. It's just taking a little while. But instead of doing that, Discord is doing this garbage where now they're, you know, oh, do you want to play a game? Blah, blah, blah. Stupid. Just ruin it. Good work, guys. Ruin it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's not just guys involved, but I just have a suspicion it's probably guys making these dumb decisions. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd be happy to be wrong. I don't like being right a lot of the time, because usually the stuff I'm right about sucks. Like, I can't pick the right winning lotto numbers. There's something I'd like to be right about. Can't do that. But no, I can be right about, I wonder if this thing is going to crap. Oh, yeah, it is. Fantastic. Wonderful. The Nostradamus of garbage. That's me. There's a term. I should have said that on the show. Lando would love that. You know what? I'll try to save that one. I won't remember. My brain's Swiss cheese. I won't remember that by the next show. Yeah, I sucks. There's just so much in the world, especially in like tech and this type of thing, that is predictably just terrible. And Discord, again, the thing that is strange about it is that it's resisted becoming a toilet for so long, and instead they're flushing themselves. And it's just dumb. But I guess that's, like I said, I guess once dollars get involved, people make dumb decisions. What? Censored by you? What do you mean? Did they block some of your videos? Or demonetize you or something? God, YouTube sucks too. See what I'm saying? I've ranted about YouTube many times. I don't have to start that again. My problems with YouTube. Oh, I know what that beep was. Okay, I just heard a beep. And anytime I hear a beep, I immediately go, what? What? But I know what it is. My previous comment to you wasn't posted. Oh, you mean on there? Yeah, you know what? YouTube has been doing... I've noticed some of the comment stuff in general services lately has been failing a lot. For no reason I can figure out, so... But yeah, YouTube... I'm not going to start on YouTube. I don't have the time to start on YouTube. I can't be doing a 4-hour stream where I'm just ranting about YouTube. I could, but I'm not going to. What time is it? Oh yeah, okay, we're coming up on an hour. Well, that's what I was aiming for. Jeez. I always think... I literally started the stream off, outside of the fact that I don't know how to operate a microphone or a mute button properly, apparently. Beyond even that, I thought, you know what? There's no way I'm going to be able to do much of a long stream just coloring in this thing. But look, I've barely even done anything on it. Once again, what do I know about anything? The answer is nothing. Let's see. YouTube is the worst for content creators. I feel bad for a lot of the headaches they put Gary and Ian through. Yeah, I mean... Hold on. I have to try to compose this in a way that's not going to just devolve into screaming. Another great example of a platform that, if it operated properly, would be a wonderful way for people, and is, unfortunately, you have to fight against it for it to happen. But what it should be is a really great place for people to be able to be creative in really interesting ways, whether it is in doing reviews on stuff they like, which is what they do and what I tend to like to do on there, or doing weird stuff. And instead, it rewards a lot of garbage because of reasons we don't even know. It ends up punishing people for ridiculous reasons, blocking stuff that clearly is fair use, although the way things are going, maybe fair use won't exist in 2 years. What do I know? But as of today, is fair use. And fundamentally just, it just hampers creativity in more ways than it helps it. And again, I've made this point before. If Google was some small scale company that was just starting out and didn't have the legal resources to have the fights to be able to defend fair use, I might understand it. If it was two guys in a garage with $20 between them who just happened to have a platform that's really great for video, and they were like, guys, we cannot take on these lawyers. Wow, somebody just honked the horn really loud outside the house, but I didn't hear a crash, so I guess nobody's dead. If it was just that situation, I would sit there and go, okay, yeah, you have to understand that. It's not that. This is one of the biggest companies in the world with no shortage of money and resources, and yet this is what they do. And it's just because they can, because they're in a position where they're basically untouchable. And that's all that matters. Is it actually beneficial? Does it actually help creators? Nah, whatever. Stock price is good. Who cares? And that's the world, I suppose. But it's a bummer. Hold on. Some alert just went off on my phone. What was it? Oh. Okay. Oh, got it. Got it. Okay, I saw your text, Mr. Pruitt. That's what it was. I was like, what is this? I saw something flash up on my phone. Oh. Wow. They blocked that, huh? Interesting. Oh. Well. You know. Yeah. I wouldn't have thought they would block that, but I guess, you know, what do I know? What do I know about how YouTube works? The same as everybody else, which is to say nothing. So, okay, yeah, now the iPad is getting warm. Now I can actually feel that we're closing in on an hour because it is heating up. And that is usually my cue to be like, okay. And plus my battery's probably, if it's heating up, the battery's going to tank too. I mean, I have had the screen on for an hour, and it's a very nice screen, so I really shouldn't complain. So, yeah, I didn't really get much accomplished here. But I did get to rant for a while, so that's fun. And actually, technically, it's only a 40-minute stream if you want sound. Oh, no, the background music will be playing, so I guess it's not completely useless. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to bring this to a close now because I can almost feel my brain just starting to fracture into pieces. And it doesn't start off from a very strong foundation. Well, thank you. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. Yeah, the person buying it likes it. That's the important thing. I love geometry, so drawing all the lines was actually really, really fun, except now I have to let it dry for a couple days because the ink on the card stays wet. Or I shouldn't say wet. It stays smudgy for a long time. So, in any event, yeah, let me do that. There we go. You know what? I really should just come up with... Well, that doesn't matter. I was going to say, I should come up with some kind of graphics, so instead of saying the same thing at the end of every stream, but I guess it doesn't matter. Why not? I can make the effort. And what I'm referring to is the fact that I'm going to end the stream, as I always do, by encouraging people, since I've just been talking about, and Jay and Mr. Pruitt have been talking about, the world for creators and how things go, that I would encourage anybody who sees this. Oh, good seeing you, Mr. Pruitt. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Maybe next time I'll hook up my... Jay, you wouldn't have seen this, but I posted over in Mr. Pruitt's Patreon my new desk setup. And I don't know if anybody really noticed, but I have a set of mini synthesizers now because I'm an idiot. And now I'm just going to be an annoying person who thinks they can make music when I know I can't. I have a drum machine and a chord generator. Let me tell you something. That the drum machine can take samples. So things are going to get really weird on the show. I'll warn you now, because once I get that thing hooked into the audio, which is not going to take much, I actually figured out how to link them together so that you can hear both at once. Oh boy! Oh boy, Lando's going to want to kill me. Anyway, that's not how I want to end the stream. That's just a little teaser, I guess, for anybody who wants to listen to what the show's going to be like. No, what I like to do when I end the stream is to encourage people to support creators that they enjoy. I'm not talking about me because as of right now, I'm fine. But there are a lot of people out there who are wonderfully creative and are working really hard to put out good content that is not generated from a machine or ripped off from other people. And it's very tough for them to make a living at it. So I would encourage you in whatever way you can to support a creator that you enjoy, because it's very easy to just count on them being there and you have no idea what your support might mean in ensuring that they stay there. And that doesn't have to be monetary. If you can do that, that's great. But support doesn't have to be money, because money's tight for a lot of people. So it can just be that you appreciate their work by reposting it or sending them a message. This is one thing that I didn't think about when I first was talking about this stuff, but in talking to other creators, it is, and going back to the idea of the mental health thing, it is, you would be shocked how many people think about just stopping because they don't feel like anybody is paying attention, even if they're doing great work. It's way more common than most people would think. So even just sending an email or posting a message or something doesn't have to be very long. You don't have to write 1,000 words, but just saying, hey, you know what? I really appreciate your work. Keep at it, or whatever. Something encouraging like that. You just have no idea when that might get to that person, and it might be at exactly the moment they need somebody to say that to them for whatever reason. So whatever little things you can do, it's worth taking the time to do them. And that's all I'm going to say, because that's how I end all my streams. And I'd rather end it on an encouraging note like that than talking about YouTube again. So, Jay, Mr. Pruitt, thank you very much for hanging out for a while and bearing with me through, well, what almost every stream ends up being. And, yeah. On that note, everybody, if you're watching live, have a great rest of your week. If you're watching this later, hey, thanks for watching it later, because I don't care. Watch it live, watch it later. It's all the same to me. So I appreciate you hanging out. And on that note, I'm going to now attempt to stop this without somehow blowing up my computer, which would probably be a minor miracle. All right. Take care, fellas, and I will talk to you again next time. Everybody else, thanks for being here, and take care.